How do you, I guess, reflect on your loss on the weekend? Must be hard coming to a new club and then that's the result.
Any club, if they start like that, it's going to be, a pretty rough feeling, especially your first time. But it's one game. It's very disappointing, but we reviewed it today and we'll get on with it. But I don't think that's a reflection of the way we'll go this year. So I'm optimistic for the year and years ahead. But this week's this week and we'll have another crack.
The midfield really struggled. Would you put your hand up to Minnie and say, hey, put me in there, I want to have a crack?
I just play where I'm told to play. So I doubt there'd be too many changes after 1 week. It's more of a mindset thing and, getting the boys on playing a bit better in the midfield. But it's not just them. We saw today our backs are poor, our forwards are poor, mids are poor as well. But that's all right. We copped our whack today and we'll get on with it.
What were your key takeaways from the review?
Obviously the contest stuff, but work rate stuff as well. Like we got taught a lesson on those two facets of the game. If you get, beaten on the inside and beaten on the outside spread, you're not going to win many games, or you're not even going to get close, as we saw. So that'll be the learnings, and it's going to be a good session on Thursday. I think we're back into it, and we'll try and put it into the game on Sunday.
Lots of talk around the nation about Harley and the way the game went for him on the weekend. What do you do this week as a leader to get his head back around the footy rather than the periphery stuff and the fighting blokes and wanting to win that sort of stuff on the field?
It's not just him. It's the whole midfield group that got beaten. Like I said, it was pretty much all of us that were very ordinary. So it's getting back to that, about us, what we can do to be better. But that other stuff, the distraction stuff, we know it doesn't really help win games of footy. So he knows that. But someone will have a chat to him about that little stuff. But it's something he's going to have to deal with being a good player that he is. But yeah, he's copped his whack. We've copped our whack. I'm talking about the way we played. Nothing about that other stuff. But yeah, we'll move on.
We know that once the player reacts, everyone goes at that player for weeks afterwards. How do you prepare him for the inevitable now, which will be teams are going to test him out to see how he reacts from here until they're believing that he's not going to anymore? Yeah,
it's just reviewing it. He realises that it's not naturally going to help his game, so he'll figure that out. And the right people are talking to him. That's sort of the midfield coach and their role. But as a senior player, you just need to get around him. He's copping his whack from the outside, and it's tough. Remember, he's only 19 years of age. Must be tough for him. So, but yeah, it is what it is. He'll get on with it, and he'll start playing some good footy for us.
Is there someone else who can fight the fight for someone like him, or anyone else who gets targeted? So it's not the one guy who's constantly feeling like it's him against the world, and there's someone else who can step up and say, well, you go get the footy, we'll do the fighting for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's not just Harley. If someone's going at one of our players, we should all be there fighting the fight for him. But it's just fighting. We want to play good footy, so we need to focus on playing good footy. But we're not going to sit there and let a 19-year-old get pushed around. Even though he can fend for himself, he can fight. Well, he's bigger and strong enough to handle himself than me coming in there to save him. But like I said, footy's the main thing, and he'll focus on that this week, and so will we. But like I said, it's not just Harley. There's 22 other players out there that were very poor in playing their role on the weekend, and it's not good enough.
Harley's been likened to Dusty Martin, not just in the way he plays, but also having that extreme spotlight. You obviously played with Dusty. Do you think he'd be a good mentor for Harley? Should the club reach out to Dusty or someone like him to, be a mentor type to Harley?
I'm sure they're obviously very similar in the way with their power and their body shape and the way they play the game. But I can't really remember when Dustin was 19 or 20 years of age, but he would have had these challenges as well. It's just the way it is, but I'm not too sure. Dustin's probably off doing something else at the moment, so good luck finding him.
Anything that you learnt while being around him that you've sort of told Harley? Any tips that you saw him how to manage being in the spotlight with so much attention?
We've had chats about him, just about the way he trained and the way he prepared. But I don't know anything about that spotlight stuff. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know what it's like to be Harley or to be Dustin, but that's something that he's dealing with, and us as a club need to support him as best we can, and I hope for his sake that's what we're doing, and we'll continue to do so.
Being in Victoria at the same time as him during the off-season, were you training with him during the off-season? Were you helping him in that regard, or has it been when you've been over here that you've started to build a relationship with him?
We had a couple little training sessions together when we were over east, but it's more been here. But he's had an interrupted pre-season, so it's been tough on him. But yeah, once he gets fully fit, and he's not far off it at the moment, the game will get easier for him. But yeah, when you've had an interrupted season with little foot injuries, you can't go out there and, you know, smash yourself on the training track, because it's just going to create stress problems, which is a big factor around there. So it's been limited what he can do.
Pretty long road trip this weekend to it's the longest domestic flight in Australia. You know, how do you win at the Gabba?
It's going to be tough, no doubt, but it's a good challenge for us. And like I said, I'll keep banging on about it. We'll probably keep banging on about it. But when you get smacked in the contest like that, you know, you're not going to win many games. So that's where it's going to be this weekend. And contest work rate, and yeah, we'll do our best to put up a better fight this weekend. And you know, you never really know with footy. It can turn very quick, and that's what we're expecting this week.
Beau Allen missed out last week. Would it be nice to see him get a debut this week?
Yeah, it'd be good. So fingers crossed for him. I think he's right to go. I'm not too sure. You know, you guys will find out before I will. But yeah, if he gets his chance, he'll be ready, and looking forward to him playing, whether it's this week or in the coming weeks. But I'm sure our fans will be as well.
When you look at the game plan, it's obviously very similar to what you did at Richmond. What signs have you seen about parts that it worked on the weekend or have worked during the pre-season that you think have clicked in people's minds already? And which parts are the hardest things do you feel for people to get their heads around?
Oh, we are. We're still a young team, so we're going to have lapses in between quarters, in between games. We can't have it the way it was on the weekend. There was, you know, too many bad things. But the way we want to play with moving the ball faster, higher work rate team, that's what we've been showing in the pre-season, I think. We're not there yet, and it clearly didn't show on the weekend, and we looked at all that stuff just then. But hopefully a couple of meetings and training it on Thursday, you'll see more of the style we're going after.
As a leader, did you give any, I guess, firm words after the game, or, you know, was there a brutal session, like, not brutal, but a tough discussion afterwards?
That happened today, yeah. But the facts are, like, pointing fingers at each other is not going to get us anywhere. We're all in it together. We all put our hand up knowing that we weren't good enough. And we just saw all that then, but we still got to put a smile on our faces and get around each other and try and get better on the track. So that's what it's about. It's not about slamming each other all week.
Expect someone to put a fair bit of time into Lachie Neale after he was kept quiet the other day?
I'm not too sure. That's a question for the midfielders.